had a gal, a rare nice gal, down in Wroxham way. She were wholly nice to me in the old school days. She would smile all the while, but Daddy didn't know all. What she used to say to me behind the garden wall. Have you got a light, boy? Have you got a light?
Roll up. Get your video games here. We got the lot fresh from your Arati home computers. Everyone guaranteed, genuine, no knockoffs here, mate. We got all the best games. We got Checkered Flag. We got Stonkers. We got 50 games on one cassette. What you gonna lose? Only a quid. Come on, get something nice for the kiddies. Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
I bought this game off you the other week, and I just can't get it to load. And I've changed all the ear cables and adjusted the volume and everything. And it just won't work. What would you expect, mate? It's a book, innit? But you said it was guaranteed to work on my home computer. I got it to my bloke in the pub. Said's no good, mate. Verbal contract. Not worth the paper it's written on. Nah. I'll have the law on you. Terry, sort him out. I suppose there's a drink in it for me, Arthur. Parasite. Here.
My entry for Quid Game is the ZX Spectrum, How to Use and Program by Ian Sinclair, no relation. It's a lovely book, 1983, but it cost £2.95. I didn't pay £2.95 for it. Bought it on eBay for 99p. It starts off with how to wire a plug, and then gets you through the art of programming the Spectrum. Here we have a big block graphics of a helicopter, which is rather pleasant. It's recognisable as a helicopter. You have a rotor, you have a tail, you have fins. This is a good thing. How about, though, a bit of animation? It then shows you what this big string of characters. These are block graphics which come with the Spectrum. And look, it goes up the screen. It's a bit flickery, but it works. Look at that. Just like watching Airwolf. Now here we're using user-defined graphics. So one thing the Spectrum can do is, rather than using the graphics on the screen, you can make your own up. And he's doing this, show how to do it. It's some kind of lightning bolt thing, and here it's making a sort of weird falling down the stairs thing. I'm not quite sure what it's doing, but it's certainly moving. It might be there's a slight bug in the code. It's kind of hard to tell. So let's run it again. I think the clear screen command should be after all the setting of the paper and the ink. So we run it again, and this time it's like a sort of satellite moving across the screen, perhaps. It's a strange little thing, but it works. Or a sword, perhaps. Who knows what it's meant to be. It's all very strange. We can do more with user-defined graphics than just printing one character on the screen. You can get smoother animation. Here it is Rocket. We have 3 user-defined graphics, A, B, and C. And what he's going to do is print them in a stepped format. So let's see what it looks like. It's all very exciting, this. Look at that. It's a lot smoother. Although he's still using printing characters on the screen, he's actually cleverly done half graphics. So A is the full rocket, B is the nose cone, and C is the body. By doing that way, it looks like you get the equivalent of half character movement. Look at that. Gorgeous. Now, how about Strange Dot? This is a very, very small bit of code. It's doing some weird stuff involving trigonometry. It takes a while to run, so this is 10 times speed. It's just plotting data on the screen based on a couple of loops and sin and cos, and it produces almost like a sort of planetary effect, and it's rather jolly. Well, that's dots are fine. How about drawing lines? Here is his castle program, which draws a castle on the screen. Shall we see what it looks like? Boom! And we have a castle. That's actual speed of the Spectrum. It's a little bit fast to see what's going on. So here I've run it again, but this time I'm pressing a key in between each line. So you can see I'm just drawing lines. As long as you keep the pencil on the paper, you can keep going. And to draw the battlements, he's created a little subroutine because you draw them a few times. Down we go along, we go up, we go across the other battlement. Look at that. See how fast it was before? This is all little instructions. Now we draw the line for the door. We draw the flagpole. We go right. We go left. We go down. That's nice and pretty. All we need now is some windows. Oh, there we are. That's the left window. And that's the right window. Marvellous. How about animation? This is his attempt at Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Draws the big star, the small star. And it doesn't quite work, as he says, because it doesn't draw fast enough. So you can see the gaps where it's not quite drawing properly. It's drawing over himself to erase it. It doesn't quite work, but it looks reasonably nice. But he says, you can try it again, but better, because it's just too big. So this time he does it with a smaller star, and look at that. That's nice and flickery. Imagine that in the sky at night. Very Christmassy and festive. Oh yes. How about drawing a dot across the screen and checking for the location of stuff? The point keyword is a way of detecting if a area on the screen has already been printed at. So what he's done is drawn a couple of walls and created a little dot which moves steadily across the right hand side of the screen until it hits an obstacle, in which case it'll reverse direction. Ping! There we go. So we've done animation, we've done graphics. What about sound? Yeah, come on, mate. Oh, hello. Oh, blimey. We have sounds here. We have Pope's 20... That was a rising note. What else can we do? Warble like a television. That's rather nice. High, low. And how about a last one? Excellent. But he say, these aren't games. Where's the game? Watch on. And now, Chapter 10, The Game. Squids In. This is a game which makes use of all the techniques that have been explained in the book. The way in which the game Squids In is designed follows the advice in Chapter 6. You get user-defined graphics. You get explosions. You get all kinds of stuff. Essentially, you're a diver, you're armed with an explosive dart gun, attacked with a giant squid. Your only hope is to kill it. First thing you need to do is type it in. And this game, oh yes, this game is typing it in with a stopwatch. You can see here, I'm typing in the code at 10 times speed, and I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm pretty pleased with it. Unfortunately, as you get tired, you make mistakes. Here is one such mistake. I'm entering a line, and this is meant to be line 500. As you can see here, I've entered it as line 4500. It is perfectly syntactically valid. This will cause problems. Back to zooming it in. Other thing to watch, as you're typing, the spectrum slowly becomes less responsive. The gaps between keys get slightly longer. Obviously your eyes get tired, but even the longer the line is, the actual parser will slow down. You're also going to play hunt the keyword. So looking for beep. Beep is an especially annoying keyword because it's extend mode and then simple shift. It's a bit of a faff. But then you type the code in. It's only about 2.5 pages long. Here we have typing in the data statements for the user-defined graphics. And here again, I've meant to type in a statement which is line 1200. Unfortunately, I've missed out a 0, which means I'm going to replace a line earlier in the program. But we are very nearly done. All we need to do now is type in the instructions, which is a lot of text. On a genuine keyboard, I had a genuine Spectrum keyboard, when you saw long lines of text rather than strings, you didn't like it because they were a lot slower to type in. Rather than keywords, which you can fill the screen very, very quickly, typing in requires typing and punctuation and going up and down, all kinds of fannying about. And you can see here I've already made some mistakes like skid and swin. But we're very nearly done. All we need to do is save it to tape and away we go.
Well, I suppose I better jump in and deal with that squid. I've not been swimming for a while. I'm hoping to get Veruca. But I've got a stick of rock, sort of left over from Blackpool. Maybe I could beat it to death with that. So, here we go.
Squids In, the game. You are a diver armed with one explosive dart gun. You're being attacked by a giant squid, and your only hope of survival lies in killing it. The squid does not swim straight towards you, oh dear. We had a couple of typos in the last paragraph, also some ugly line break. So let's fix that first of all. Those are not the fault of the game, those are my fault. These are now fixed. Our instructions for Squids In are now ready and correct. U for up, D for down, space for fire. Once you fire, you may not move. You got 10 shots, press enter to start. And away we go. Oh, there's a squid, there's a squid. Oh! Okay. It seems my dart gun is extremely short range. A range of about 2, looks like. And the squid is very, very slippery. But also not that aggressive. I've not died yet. Which is nice. So is it sort of a... Oh, I was close then. The animation is a little bit flickery, but it's not too bad though. Oh! So this is not going to be a no-death run, unfortunately. Mr. Squid has killed me. Oh, come on, that was close. Come on. Down we go, down we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You'd be pretty bold to attack the squid. You'd be right up in its face and then shoot it really close. Up close and personal. See the whites of its little squiddy eyes. It's a man's game, this, squid hunting. Oh! And that's 2 deaths. I could have had him there. My score is minus 40. This game doesn't seem to be quite working. So with type-ins, if it goes like, hang on, is that a bit shit? You sort of go, well, it could be designed as a bit shit, or it could be you've done something wrong. And here we see we're missing line 500. Line 500 controls the animation of the dart. We don't have it, because in fact we typed it in as line 4500. So this means the dart don't go nowhere, it just hovers in front of us making a beeping noise. So we've now fixed that, and are giving it another go. Here we go, here's Mr. Squid, and now the dart moves across the screen. We've still missed, it's all very hard to hit. But at least the dart makes a bit more bloody sense, and it flops out your gun and just floats there. But that was just stupid. To be fair, it's just stupid. Right, here we go. Oh, but it's still very tricky to hit Mr. Squid, because he wobbles up and down in a really wriggly... Oh, I've got him. Take that, you bastard. Up we go. Oh. And the bastard got me back. Oh, I've got him. You saw a little flash there, which is the animation of the explosion as Mr. Squid dies in a million pieces. Score is 280. Another game. Yes, please. And we get the title, Squids In! Which isn't right either. I said I wanted another go. Because line 120 governs, do you want another go or not? Line 1200 governs, is it the title or not? And I've got them mixed up. I've crapped over line 120 with line 1200, and we have no line 1200. Oh dear. This is surprisingly easy to do, and always watch out for it, especially when you're typing in very long lines, or else you'll be very, very sad indeed. But this is a type-in. You can modify the program to suit yourself. You can change the scoring system. You can reduce the wiggliness of the squid, which we've done. You can even make the scrolling a bit smoother. So here on this screen, I've got the difficulty setting, which controls how wiggly the squid is. On difficulty 1, it doesn't wiggle very much. If we've got difficulty 5, it wiggles rather a lot. Also, the scrolling now is in the half motions we've seen in the rocket ship, where rather than moving one full space a turn, every turn moves half a space, so every other go is 2 spaces wide. I've changed the scoring as well, as it suggested. Scoring is now based on the difficulty, but also the range at which you hit the squid. The further away you hit the squid, the more points you get. Which I think gives you more of a challenge. I think it's hard hitting a squid at long range. Bastard. From hell's heart I stab at thee, with life's last breath I curse at thee. You little squiddy bastard. Gotcha. Right, come on. Score is 2,950. And that, my friends, is Squids In as advertised. But wait, there's more. I think we can trickolate this. I think we can trickolate it up lovely. When I snorkify these games, I always like to add in a little loading screen. It's completely pointless because if you're loading an emulation, just click fast load, it's loaded instantly. But I think it gives a more of a flavour of what's going on. This loading screen was done entirely in BASIC. It is a combination of straight lines and wibbly lines. The eyes of the squid were made by printing a capital O and then printing over one a small o and then printing over that a full stop. But then make it flash and you get a reasonable sort of eye effect. And the tentacles are done with curves, lined curves in a loop. The tricky bit here is the bottom two lines. If you normally do a screen, if you try and save the screen, you lose the last two lines. It says this is where the save command comes in. So what you need to do is create your screen, copy it then to an area of memory. I like to use, say, 32,000, using peaks and pokes, and then save the screen from there. You can then load as screen string, and it will load it into the correct place for you. And so this is Squids In, 1983, Ian Sinclair, no relation. He does point this out in several of his books. He is not related to Sir Clive. It's a score attack game, so when I have a high score table, I got this from Richard Hurley's Spectrum Super Games, the game Canyon Bomber. Here are the instructions. I've changed the keys. Q and A for up and down, and I've made the reverse video easier to see rather than U and D because they're a bit awkward to play. This is the toughest difficulty. You can see, the top of the screen, we have the blue sky. We have wibbly wobbly waves. The bottom of the screen, which are the last two lines used for input, we have the yellow sand and a little bit of seaweed. I changed the death music to be more the but with border effects to make it a bit prettier. I've changed hit detection for when the squid gets you because that just wasn't working. The squid could be at the top of the screen and could then actually attack you. At the end of the game, we get a proper giant squid, which if it kills you here, you lose a lot more points. So many points. I've only hit one squid. I have 0. However, I've still got a high score though. You get the word congratulations printed in random flashing text, which is nice. I get to enter my name. What is my name? Up to 10 characters is allowed to have. Obviously, I am Snorkers. It then prints the high score table, and if your name's on the high score table, it prints it in flashing, which is done with a very simple if statement. Let's now try medium difficulty. So again, we're firing off our dart at extreme range. The squid doesn't get us at ridiculous ranges. I've changed the hit animation for the squid, so you get the explosion marker and then the screen in different colours alternating in the middle of the screen, so rather than just a bit of a trill, so a bit of variation, a bit more excitement. And Squid's got me. The bastard. Up we go, down we go. This is version F. Version F of Squids In. I copied some of the subroutines, and it mostly worked. Oh, he's got me. Bloody bastard. Up we go. Here we come on. There we are. And now we get a warning note. Now your dart in this last stage goes faster. Goes 3 spaces, not 2. You can hit the squid. You've got to get it right in its eye. It's very tricky to get. And I've missed. But I've got a score of 1,020, which is a lot better. So I think that's deserving of an exclamation mark. So there's my score. I've beat Primo Karma. Ha ha ha. Like another game, yes or no. Here's another thing he recommends to make life a bit better and to please Retro Ponder. I've said no. Oh, okay. 131. Not stop statement, not break. Just okay. Because line 130 as I'll show you here, is go to 9999, which does not exist.
So, that was a bit of improvement, wasn't it, from the original? I think we've certainly worked ourselves out, got ourselves beach body ready, and made that game a Snorkers classic. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Quid Game.
You can get a lot of enjoyment from your Spectrum when you use it to enter programs from cassettes that you have bought. You can obtain even more enjoyment from typing in programs that you have seen printed in magazines. Even more rewarding is modifying one of these programs so that it behaves in a rather different way, making it do what suits you. The pinnacle of satisfaction, as far as computing is concerned, however, is achieved when you design your own programs. These don't have to be masterpieces, just to have decided what you want, written it as a program, entered it and made it work is enough. It's 100% your own work, and you'll enjoy it all the more for that.